Hello, my name is Janelle Sochet. I want to thank everyone who had the time to visit me at Capstone and invite anyone in who has not yet received the chance into the earth within. First, I'd like to touch on the phrase casual divinity. This is the anatomical connection between the human body and nature's body. As you can see in these two photos, we have a lung and a tree side by side that look shockingly very similar, and their functionalities are quite the same, and they confirm that we are nature. This aligns with my thesis as I focus with grounding and grounding breath. So before we continue, I'd like you to pause and take a breath. If you're sitting at a chair, release your body, unlock your jaw, take a nice breath. And through this art of breath, I believe we can create spaces optimal for grounding into designed environments to uplift the visitor experience. To test this theory, I brought it to life in the Brooklyn Museum of the pavilion space, the front lawn, and the garden. The mission of the Earth Within is quite aligned with the Brooklyn Museum's mission to bring people together through art, and Earth Within focusing on art as a way to heal, breath as a guide to balance, and senses as a way to communicate. For the audience, my main focus is students and youth of the Brooklyn area. Since the Brooklyn Museum already has an amazing connection with teens for their teen program, where they're allowed to express themselves through different facets of artwork and in relationship to exhibitions installed. I also would love to open this up to any families, ages of all kind, and wanderers from all paths of life. For my concept diagram, you can see my focuses range from expressive arts therapy, using arts to heal, cymatics, which is the study of vibrational sound made visible, somatic breath, focusing on intentional breath work, and grounding at the core. As a pre-integration process, I would like to have an Earth Within app accessible around the metro area for people to connect with the Arts Connect program. This will be a series of art workshop programs, meditation practices, and other courses surrounding the exhibit, upcoming and then going throughout it. There will also be Loomies as a wayfinding directive, mostly pronounced in the Botanic Garden extension. For the Art Connection program, to talk a little bit more deeply, we have the Plastic Art Workshop, which will be a community event where people can come together and bring their plastics or recyclables to make it into artwork, and that will be installed in the Grand Pavilion space. We also have the Language of Water, led by Veda Austin, a water researcher. Also, the Walk with Sages. You can hear more about her story in the audio guide. She is one of the sages that will be speaking on the audio tour, and as well as those other programs involving body movement and meditation, such as Tai Chi on the lawn. To speak more about these Lumi guides, to be used as a wayfinding directive, you can find these Loomies peppered around the metropolitan area, serving as a way to intrigue and build intention into the leading up of the exhibit. And I'd also like to discuss art block. Art block is a phrase that many creatives are familiar with, and it means that we are facing a stunt in our creative process. I want to flip that narrative and make it literal. These will be art blocks. Around the Prospect area, you will find these beautifully colored and illustrated art blocks where an artist will be commissioned to create an outline one of their visuals, and then people of the community can come sign up to color it in and bring it to life. And these art blocks will lead into that main space between the lawn areas as it builds to bring a full mural into the picture, leading to the expressive arts wing, cymatics, grounding, and that somatic breath to lead as a transition zone between the museum space and the lobby. Now to get into the renders, we have the Scene 1 Origins. After you walk down that beautiful mural from the art block, you are invited with the copper radial path. This will guide attunement throughout the body, as we are all made up of electricity, and copper is known to be an amazing conductor of electricity. It affects us the same way in grounding us to our environment, even if it is subconscious. And this will be complemented by the sonic reverb sound wall that is wind element and also an interactive. Once you press your hand on it, a new sound vibration will form, and this will also serve as a transitional zone into the main space of the exhibit. We also have the Earth Within scene. This is the first capture you will have once you enter into the building space, and you'll see this beautiful reflective wall that illuminates that mural, and next to it is a little bit more narrative about what grounding is and how you can find yourself throughout this exhibit space. Jumping to that mural design that you can see, all of those recyclables were made into this glorious structure that everyone can see what can happen when the hands of the community come together. After leaving the NeuroNet into the Grounding 101 space, we are visited by these glorious mycelium blocks. So when you have this resting zone and you lie down on them, you have the healing properties radiating through you from the mycelium. And this is complemented by a screen globe that shows the rooted network within your own body, showing all of our electric and neural paths. As we flow past these, this wall, you can interact with yourself first off of the usual reflection you see in the mirror. This will be a mirror that's reflected from what is within you. To talk about this in some more detail, we have the DNA structure, and we typically see this from the angle below, from our science classes to our notebooks, but what happens if we cut these DNA in half is quite awing. These visuals are all unique and form from different parts of different creations, and these visibles are very close to the visuals that we see in cymatics, which is the study of visible sound. These cymatics projects will be carried out in a series of bowls with speakers at the bottom, and once they are humming at each of their own frequencies aligned with a chakra in the body, for instance, this one here is shown from the heart chakra radiating at a 400 frequency. It will also have the opportunity to add your own voice into this cymatic bowl with the microphone up ahead. And these cymatics that you create will be implemented and projected onto those brick panel walls for the texturized minds. This concept shows the community voice once all of these cymatic designs are merging together with one another. So you can take one deep breath with your community voice. Once leaving the exhibit space of the lobby, you'll find yourself back to the lawn by the staircase. This is where the Walking with Sages integration, if you've really learned something that caught your interest and you want to learn more, this is the opportunity to connect with more of the narrative through the Walk with Sages program, where you can tune in and listen to a sage talk more about their subject. You can see this from the core of the earth within. The Botanic Garden is right adjacent to it, making it an easy pathway to flow into. And those Lumi guides that you have seen peppered throughout the city all come together in a radial path to greet you into the earth within extension. As parts of the Botanic Gardens, there will be graphic integrations from quotes of the sages that you will listen to. There will also be sculptural installations representing the elements. This one is of fire. And then there will also be mind zones, which serve as reflection places for people to talk about what they have learned from the exhibit, or also a place where people can reflect in solitude of their own. And to close off this presentation, I ask you to take one more breath with me. In and out with gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of the earth within.